It's been more than 3 months since former Red Sox player David Ortiz was shot in the Dominican Republic. This week, he spoke to the press for the first time, but some baffling questions remain.
Red Sox Hall of Famer number 34, David Ortiz.
Just days after he threw out the first pitch at Fenway, David Ortiz broke his silence, speaking to the sports media, starting with the Boston Globe's Bob Hohler, then moving on to a select group of TV reporters.
I was one of a handful of Boston sports reporters who were able to sit down with David Ortiz.
Hohler's story, first appearing online, was described as a wide-ranging interview, while TV reporters characterized theirs differently.
There were some ground rules. Each reporter would get 2 questions.
TV people were also instructed not to make Ortiz feel uncomfortable and not to focus on the many rumors that have circulated about why he was shot.
Social media have no consequences, and because of it, there's a lot of gossip that people create and basically get away with.
They did get that from Ortiz, as well as him dismissing an affair as one motive.
People start making a story that I was being chased by a car, I got shot because of a woman, this and that, all that crazy stuff.
But no one, including Bob Hohler, appeared to follow up on the report that Ortiz purchased an $85,000 Lexus for a woman the day before the shooting. Or ask about this video showing 2 women fighting reportedly at the hospital. For the record, Ortiz spokesman Joe Bearline calls the Lexus documents a fabrication and says the video is irrelevant. He also told us nothing was off limits for the Globe interview. Bob Hohler did not respond to our questions, but his colleague Maria Kramer tweeted this: Bob Hohler has not stopped asking questions. If you want to slam us for not getting the full story, fine, but don't imply we don't want to. That's inane. Touche. Yeah, that was a touche. She was actually responding to some things that both you and I had posted after reading the original piece. I understand why Bob Hohler at the Globe and anybody doesn't respond directly to rumors. But the thing about the Lexus and the video went beyond rumor because it appeared to be, there was something there. I mean, maybe it was a fabrication, maybe it was made up. But if so, you'd think that they would address that. And that the TV people would address it.
You and I had a similar reaction when that Hohler story hit. I think we were both reading it on Saturday night,
yes,
I believe.
Saturday night.
Wait a minute, what's going on here?
We have a real life, don't we?
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't want to hang out with us. But in that piece, Hohler did address some rumors, or one rumor. He dealt with a rumor that a car had run Ortiz off the road right before he was shot. But he didn't address others, and so there was this sort of nod at asking a tough question, or at least alluding to something that was circulating out there. But he didn't go all in, and I think when stuff has been put out there, it's appropriate to say, how about just an upfront question? You know, are reports that you were having a relationship with this woman correct? What about this fight that was captured outside the hotel room, or pardon me, the hospital room between 2 women who you are not married to? In that TV press conference, I felt like you could see the ground rules taking effect, because none of the reporters, whatever they got from Ortiz about social media and his sort of generalized saying that stuff on social media is garbage, he offered that on his own. They didn't actually ask questions. They were dancing around and backpedaling as they sort of semi-approached the subject, and that's not what you want.
Well, one guy
the
asked,
media to be
what was
doing.
it like listening to the rumors, and that's when...
Well, but that's an indirect question, too. How did you handle that with all those rumors out there? That's not saying, hey, is A true? What about B and C?
I think that here's my issue with the way the coverage is played out. You do have these rumors. I don't know that you necessarily fling rumors at a guy you're interviewing if you don't know that the rumors are relevant to the shooting. But I think that these rumors are out there. We all know about them. I would like to find out from the media, led by the Globe, whether these rumors actually do have some connection to the Ortiz shooting. And I don't know that you get the answer by just flinging it at David Ortiz. But if the rumors didn't pan out, tell us. Everybody's been talking about this stuff.
You know, I agree with you. I don't think anybody went particularly hard on the hometown hero, David Ortiz. I did talk to one of the TV reporters who questioned him and said we were given the 2 question possibility, and that he said that there were no preconditions put on what he could ask and what he couldn't ask at all. I just didn't hear anybody ask, who do you think targeted you, David? And if you can't answer that, do you believe the Attorney General of the Dominican Republic's assertion that this was a case of mistaken identity?
Yeah,
Nobody asked those
they didn't
direct
ask it, but David,
questions.
Once again, David sort of offered up an answer. I mean, I got the impression from listening to his answers that he didn't believe that version at all. But again, nobody asked it
Nobody
directly.
asked it, and all we got was that Ed Davis, the former Boston Police Commissioner, is heading up an investigation. I've hired him to do this.
So as someone who's deeply ambivalent about sports, I looked at it from the perspective of a former Globe editor. And my first thought was, wide-ranging interview. Wish I could see them throw the whole thing up online, podcast, something. It would be great to just hear Ortiz speaking for himself. And the other part of me read it and thought, I felt like I was reading like an Edith Wharton parody of the Social Pages. Like it was something about the custom of the country. There was a lot of flattery. There was a lot of, you know, ego soothing and polishing. And I felt like he was writing it for Ortiz himself. And I found it kind of off-putting.
Well, David Ortiz did not want news reporters. He hand-selected the people. And I think a couple of the people couldn't go because they were still in Miami covering the Patriots game last weekend, but he was very specific about who he wanted and who he felt comfortable with, and I think that was the result.
Yep.
We should mention one thing that I learned from you as you were talking to Bearline about this. I had not known that Ed Davis, who's been hired to do this investigation to get to the bottom of what happened, is actually a business partner of Bearline, who is Ortiz's spokesperson, which you know, again, it may be common knowledge.
I mean,
I didn't know until I only
they have an association.
Well, if you go on the Bearline's website and you click Our Team, Ed Davis is the first guy who pops up.
That's true.
Which is a noteworthy fact as this proceeds. And we see
but it also
it
seems like that investigation is going to be a lot more in depth than they had originally said. And they've sort of
I did appreciate that the piece disclosed the Henry's relationship with the Globe and with you know, it was in there. It wasn't hidden.
Oh, yeah.
They do, but I thought they did a good job with that.
Yeah.